Welcome to Tech Brothers with Amir. In this video, we are going to learn how to create Azure Databricks Service. So we will learn how to create Azure Data Resource Group, and then we will learn how to create Azure Databricks Service. Then we will be creating a computer in Databricks. After doing that, we will be creating a notebook, and then we will run some sample code in the notebook. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here I am in the Azure portal. And you see that I'm going to go actually to the dashboard. First, let me go to the dashboard here. I logged into the portal.azure.com, and here I'm going to go to the dashboard. Now, once I'm in the dashboard, I can look for different resources here. Maybe the very first thing I would like to see, if I have a resource group that I can use. Here, I don't have a whole lot of resources and the resource group, so I'm going to go ahead and create new. So I will say look for the resource group. So first of all, we'll create a resource group here. So search for resource group. I have a couple of them. I'm not going to use one of them. I'm going to create a new one. So let's call this one Tech Brothers IT resource group. So we call Tech Brothers IT resource group RG. Now that's good, and we can go ahead and create this. So our resource group is ready right here, Tech Plus IT RG, and now what we can do, we can go ahead and create our Databricks service. So I'm going to look for the Databricks. So look for Databricks, and here you have Azure Databricks. Once you see that, just click on it, and it's going to bring you right here. So we will create, and then we'll select the resource group. We could have created the resource group from here as well, but no problem. Here you will provide the workspace name. Enter the name for Databricks workspace. Let's say in my case, I'm going to say Tech Brothers workspace. And now it is in East US. You can select different region if you like. I'm going to be fine with East US. And then it gives you different options for the pricing. You have standard Apache Spark, secure with Microsoft Entra ID, or you have a premium role-based access control. In my both cases, I'm not going to use any of them. I'm going to go with the trial. So it's going to give us 14 days. Now this managed resource group is the resource group where different resources will be created for the Databricks service. So we can use the same one. If we don't want to use the same one, we have to provide some different name, and it will create automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and provide this a Tech Brothers manage or group name. Okay, so I just provided the resource group name. It is going to create some VNet and VMs and all that when we will create the computer. So I will show you that once we are ready. So let's go ahead and create. It's creating that Azure Databricks service now. Awesome, our resource is ready, and we can go to the resource now. Click on the go to resource, and here is our Databricks service ready. You can see the status is active. Resource group is the resource group, that Tech Brothers IT resource group, and here is the manager resource group. So click right there, and here you see some other services that has been created or component has been created. You see virtual network workers, resource so network security group, and the other one storage account as well. Now let's go back to the our resource. You can click on the dashboard actually, or let me actually go back. All resources. Okay, so we can go to all resources here, and we see that we have a TBWS, that's our Azure Databricks. Now we have already active here is some documentation if you want to read, see right there, so you can read. But here I am not going to read the document. I'm going to go launch workspace. So we will go ahead and launch the workspace. Here I will use my ID, and then we will log into the Databricks. Awesome. This has been changed a lot. I worked few years back on the Databricks, and now when I'm creating this tutorial, I'm seeing a lot of new things here. So we might be a little struggle with these things, but you will get familiar very quickly. This is all very easy and self-explained. You have workspace here, and now once we click on the workspace, here you have workspace, and then you have repos, and you can create different folders if you like. You can go ahead right here and say create folder and manage or save the way you want to manage the things. Now in my case, I will go to users, and here is my user ID, and now I will go ahead and create maybe some folders and notebooks. I can simply go ahead and call this folder called development. Let's create this folder, and now once we are in that folder, we can go ahead and create this notebook. Now you see that as the Databricks service is created, we can go ahead and write our notebook, no problem at all. To run this notebook, it's going to ask some compute that we have to give. So let's say if I want to run this code and my code is just a hello world, I'm going to paste right here in this notebook. Also, you can rename the notebook. I'm going to call this one right here, change it to the hello world. Okay. Now that's the name of our notebook, and I can go simply and run this cell. If I run this cell, I'm going to get some error, or it is actually asking me, hey, guess what? You don't have the compute ready. Do you want to use the compute? Okay, it is telling me we can create for you. So create and run. We can do that, or I want to show you actually another way to create first and attach it to the notebook. So I'm going to cancel this one here and go to the compute right here. In the computer, I will go ahead and create a new computer. Leave this as is. I'm a single user, so I'm fine. And here you want to create multi nodes or single node. As we have a very small, it's a free or trial version. We don't want to be creating multi node. It will might give us error when you try to create multiple machines because we run out of the capacity. Now here I'm going to go with the single node. And if you do multi-node, you can see right there the configuration comes right here as well, so you can see everything, and you can also estimate the billing. Now you go to single, that's what it is telling you. That way we have 16 GB RAM, 4 core, and that's the driver that's it will be using. And then we have other this is our VM size and all. Okay, no problem. Just go for if you want to use different versions of Spark. You already have those version, it automatically selected one of them, so we are fine with the default Spark 3.5 and all that, and Scala 2.12. So if you need to change it, you can change it accordingly. Now node type, so right here you see that this account may not have enough CPU core to satisfy the request, because this is a trial, and maybe we want to go back to the journal and click right here. So I choose the general purpose. If I will do like a delta cache accelerated or other HDD and all those kind of things, and memory optimized and all that, I might not qualify because this is a trial version. So if I will use this one, it is giving me like, hey, you can't create this 32 GB memory and 4 core VM or node that for your Databricks. You have to go with some small because of the free trial. So I'm going to go with general purpose. Terminated after 120 minutes of inactivity. Let's say if we are not running the notebooks and all that, after 2 hours, it will automatically close this cluster. I want to actually not do 2 hours, I want to do 10 minutes. So why I waste the resources when I don't need it? If I'm working on it, I will have it. Otherwise, I can restart again, no problem at all. Now we will click on the create compute, and it's going to go ahead and create the compute for us. And meanwhile, it's creating the compute. Let's check that folder. I was curious, it's going to show us right here something. So right now, there isn't really anything we have seen in this folder. We'll check that later. So you can see that we are in the process of creating the cluster right now. It's going to take maybe a couple of minutes before it will finally finish creating the cluster for us. Now we can go back to workspace, and here remember that we can go to our user, and this is my user, and we have created this folder, and in the folder we have this notebook. So click on notebook. If I still run it, it's not going to run it because it need to connect to this cluster. So cluster is not ready yet. Once the cluster is ready, we're going to connect right here, and then what we will do, we will execute this code. So see right there, that's the status. Provisioning new resources, please wait for a few minutes. While our cluster is starting, we can take a look on the notebook. Here we have a file, and there are some menus. So you can create a new notebook, you can import, you can new notebook dashboard and schedule and all different clone, rename, export. So you have all those things to do with your notebook, and you have edit button here, and that can cut, copy, paste, and all that you can see right there as well. So you can do a lot of things from there. You can view layout, cell layout, standard, active, results only, side by side. You can change all the layouts and everything here, and then you have run. You can run and debug, run selected cells, run all above cells, and run all below, and or go to the last run cell, and or you can stop it if you don't want to, you want to interrupt it, so you can do that. Detach from the resource group, restart compute resources, detach and retach to the compute resources. You can do all that in the notebook when you are right here. And here is our cluster ready right now, and we are good. Now if we go ahead and just also you see that we have Python here selected. When we created the notebook, it created with the Python. You have SQL, Scala, and R languages as well available in this Databricks cluster. Now we can go ahead and simply run from here and go and say go to last run cell, or here run all, or run selected cells. So if we do that, it's gonna run it again. Now, or you can simply come here and run it, and it's already ran here. So we see that it has printed hello world for us. Now if I go back to the resource group here, I want to show you when it created that compute for us. Remember when we were creating compute right here, it asked us like, hey, you want to create a what is the node type and all that, how much memory and everything. You can see right there. If I go back to that manage resource group in Azure, you can see right there it has created other resources. So you can see virtual machine right there, and if I click on that virtual machine, it's running, and it is the same 4V CPUs and the 14 GB RAM. So that's exactly the same what we have selected here. So this is the place in the manage resource group. All the resources this cluster is going to use will be created. So you will see all those there. Our notebook is ready. You can see if I go to compute, and in the compute you see the cluster. You can also restart, you can clone, you can delete, edit permission, and all those kind of things can be done here. And now right here you can terminate as well. If you want to make changes, you want to maybe expand, change the node type, you can also edit and do that as well. Now we go back to recent, and the recent has our notebook as well, so you can select from there as well. If you want to go to workspace again, and you can simply click on workspace, and you see that deployment and hello, that's in the recent sitting right there. Or you can always go to the workspace again, and then go to user, and go to different folders and all that. So in my case it's a development. I can create more folders, and then we will work from there as well. Now here is another button. You can do create the notebook, or you can query dashboard, and all those other options are available to you as well. So, but we will be working with mostly notebook as we are going to write our PySpark code. I thank you very much watching this video, and I will see you guys in next video, where we will talk about the data frames and then start working on that.